I'm going to first of all clear my waters.
Ready to sail!
From these rebels.
Attack!
They have pirate ships. The pirate vessel of choice is the Biremim, a swift, deadly predator when hunting slow and undefending merchant ships, and one that can outrun larger warships when cornered. A Biremim combines power and good handling in a vessel that does not need too large a crew. Pirates sail from every remote cove, every lawless harbor, and every independent city, and the few cities that are supposedly law-abiding. Along the Mediterranean coast they are like flies, always present when there are rich pickings, and only temporarily driven off by the wave of an imperial hand. Kill one fly and come in its place, and more come in its place. As well as menacing trade, pirates can sometimes gather in sufficient strength to threaten even the great naval powers. Okay, so it looks like these pirates can form navies, probably from independent cities, that could strike. In any case, here we have successfully got rid of them. And now I'll be sailing with my ship south to Carthage, where these could recover further.
Moves depleted, sir!
Greek Navy, neutral. So far, I can't really see who we are trading with, though. Here's the list of Senate offices, the family tree that's currently here. So far so good. And next thing I'm gonna do here,
General!
I'm going to march this army towards Cirta, and I already see that there is a rebel force here, led by Captain Amicus. So it looks like the people living here are not very happy, so we could end up being conquerors there. Kind of liberators as well as conquerors. Furthermore, this force, led by the Numidians, has to be eliminated.
Victory!
And I want to attack them with my full strength and get rid of them. These are mostly skirmishers. I do not trust my general's kind of ability to eliminate these, because they may just kind of run away. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to command the battle myself, get a bunch of cavalry in place, and I'm going to strike. Those skirmishers. They may launch some fire at us. I really like the size of these units. It looks pretty much perfect. Okay, so soon we're going to engage, and so let's do this. Okay, here the first engagements are taking place, and they're close to a land where they would safely retreat.
The enemy army is in flight! Pursue them and drive them from the battlefield!
So it seems they do not have stomach to fight us any longer, and that was perfect strike. Their troops won't be a threat any longer. It's still unclear if it's all over. Look at that, that's their captain.
All Rome will be amazed at such a victory! The day is ours!
He's dead. So that was a good battle. Hopefully this will break them, but it didn't. As you can see, they're still here. So we will have to kind of try and catch up with them.
Victory!
Maybe our town watch could do this.
General, march! No more moves, sir.
So I'm gonna get the town watch moving south of this position.
Moves depleted, sir! Forward!
Okay.
Forward!
It looks like we have roads here. Road allows armies to march further, also adds to trade income. The amount of traffic indicates the amount of trade, and as you can see, there has to be carts moving on the road to kind of indicate trade, but I don't see any cards just yet. Maybe in the future. In any case, so that's our movement so far in the south. Things are not looking bad at all. Okay. Now, I'm paying to these guys. Well, they are doing the garrison duties, so it's fine. Now, let's take a look if I can increase the taxes. I can have the taxes quite well here. As you can see, the income will increase considerably. Here, I need to expand Governor's Palace. A Governor's Palace is a deliberately impressive symbol of Roman political might and authority. Its grandeur shows the locals the benefits of Roman rule and the futility of rebellion. Because it is a major center of government, diplomats receive training here too. The palace allows further development to continue in the settlement around it. As the town becomes a place that attracts wealth and influence, the finer things in life, such as entertainment and education, become available as a result. Improvements to existing structures and new, advanced building projects can now be carried out. Okay. So far everything is under control. There's still a cultural penalty here and unrest, as well as quarrel, but unrest and cultural penalty should disappear. Even here in Carthage, after so long, it's still not easy. The squirrel is a major problem, but we should be able to kind of deal with that after population reaches a good level. Now Carthage is without a
ready to sail
manager,
aye,
so
aye, Captain.
we're going to sell these ships and take this guy. He's a punisher. In this man's opinion, true justice is about proper punishment of all the guilty. +1 to unrest has negative effects on public order, +2 to law improves public order. So at the same time it kind of helps and hinders, but if it's just +2 to law, so probably that minuses the unrest, or maybe not, I'm not sure. He does have 5 points on management, which makes this man talented towards management. He's tedious speaker. Adul doesn't even begin to describe this man's speaking skills. -1 influence, 5% penalty on popularity with the people, so he's not very good at speaking with the crowd. Fruitful, he may have children. He's composed, that reduces his influence even further. This man rarely lets his heart rule his head, making him seem cold and distant, tight-fisted. Daylight rarely lights up the inside of this man's purse. +3 management, +2 to squirrel, decreases population growth and public order. Superior builder. Discount on construction cost, -1 from squalor, increases public order and population growth. He's apparently loyal. Okay, so we'll be sending him to Carthage, which will give him a good life. They're here as well. Thapsus, I could be sailing this other family member here, and he may just rule a settlement that is larger, which could bring us more money. Okay, so they will be going from islands into the North African mainland, where they're going to rule over larger cities. This one has over 10,000 population, Carthage has over 23,000 population, while Lilabim has 6,500 and Karalis has 1,400. In here we see that Arretium isn't very kind of easy to control just yet. In any case, I'm going to lower the tax there and build some more town watch. Here as well, some more town watch can be present. And I like to crank up the taxes as much as possible. The blacksmith has been constructed there, as well as a market should be constructed here. Okay, so far so good. There's a lot to build, but we need the money. And projected treasury 4,800, so we're making approximately 4,100 or so, or just a bit over. The reinforcements are incoming, so it's best if we attack the goals ambushing us there.
Imperator! Orders?
With what we have.
For battle.
Hopefully they won't retreat. They are on the bridge and I think that we could lure them out. Okay, so what do we have? 17-year-old Marcus Julius, apparently loyal, heartless ruler. This man uses his power to keep those below in their proper stations in life sober. This man realizes that all things are best in moderation, never allowing wine to get in the way of work. Outstanding speaker. When this fellow speaks, those around are mesmerized, rallying about his chosen cause, +1 influence. Understanding of strategy. This man has a basic grasp of strategy, but his studies have only just begun. Craftsman. This man's interest in architecture stands him in good stead when construction work is needed. 10% discount on construction costs. Okay, let's move into this fight. They only have some infantry and barbarian cavalry. So we have successfully defended against the Gauls who have invaded our northern Italy positions.
Men! Await my order!
And
Battle group!
that's that. So here I'm going to position my troops in a way I could lure the enemy towards me. So what I'm going to do here, I think we could win this relatively easy if we could successfully be in a position where the enemy is easily surrounded. Okay, so here the troops are going to soon take up a circle around the exit or entry on the bridge. They will be all set to fire your villa, which is the name for the javelin, at the enemy when the enemy approaches. My town watch will be sent to lure the enemy to attack us. So the town watch will be approaching the enemy, and when the enemy kind of engages, I will order the town watch to run away, and this hopefully will move their entire army. After the downwatch. Okay, so the downwatch ran to the opposite direction. And they couldn't stand in the battle. As you can see, downwatch is not the unit that could be in battle. They are only used to kind of keep peace in the town, and that's all. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to myself as the general here attack the enemy positions with hopes that they will go after me. And as you can see, they are. It looks like they took the bait. They are thirsty for our blood, or so it seemed. They're reorganizing. Okay, so they weren't as foolish as I have initially thought. So they are not engaging for some reason, and my cavalry is not making it possible. Let's get the Hastati in forward position. So far so good. They're changing their positions quite rapidly. The general is showing quite a bit. Of course, here we're going to throw our pill at them and hope that they will be lured to engage us instead. Okay, so it looks like we are, without a doubt, successfully throwing the villa. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to order my other units to do exactly that, and kind of attack the enemy to a point. As you can see, they will not fight. So that's a thing. It looks like this allows us to throw our pill at them, weaken them, and in this way just kind of reduce their strength to a point where we could inflict serious casualties on them. As you can see, that's another brigade that threw their film. Let's send in more troops and see if they can, in fact, as well, throw their villa on the enemy. So, what do we have? It looks like that's the case. The enemy will engage us. We'll have a lot more villa available here. The forward positions will engage. However, they won't attack us, and I think this will weaken them further. Okay. Here, let's go back. I'm going to send additional forces on the bridge, and here we are going to do exact same thing. We are going to throw our pillar at the enemy. Let's do just that. As you can see, it's just shredding the enemy positions. They are intrigued to attack. They are moving on us, but that's it. So it looks like we have successfully broken them, and there's still a few of them that would fight us, but all in all, it doesn't look like they actually have the stomach to fight us with any success.
Enemies show their true virtue. They are not soldiers, only frightened rats running from our men.
Okay, so these are the assaulters running with green shields, and all of these, for example, here have been killed due to our javelin fire. So instead of being very disciplined, they were very foolish not to attack us. In any case, it could be that they knew that if they do attack us, they will be eliminated. And that's it. All in all, look at the field that they have slaughtered here, and all of them were not engaged. Okay. Some of these brigades of mine have got many barbarians killed, most of them retreating. The main engagement didn't take long. It looks like that was a chain route. The dead bodies are lying all around the place. Their cavalry did got out of the battlefield as the general's unit. So lucky for them. Let's now kill the last remaining soldier on the battlefield.
Rome demands victory from her generals, and this day is clearly our victory!
Okay, that was a truly amazing victory. They have been completely annihilated here.
Orders.
Let's go back into the town now, Meldiolanium, and hold this position. Enemy army routes Marcus Julius. The foe are so few in number that they have fled and hidden rather than face the might of true Romans any longer. They need no longer trouble our forces. Okay, these can go back. Here,
At your service.
I can only spy on the target.
For clues.
I can't kind of infiltrate this force, unfortunately. In any case, that will be it. As you can see here in Patavium, they are building up their forces, which is troublesome. If we wait, they will be strengthening. Also, let's see how our allies are doing. It looks like Brute do not hold significant forces. This legion It looks like it suffered a little bit. Let's send our spies a bit north. Macedonians do have a force over there. And the Brutii have Corinth. They're fighting the Greeks. But the Greeks are tough as well. Okay, that's gonna be it for now. A suitable husband. 42-year-old Herennius Antoninus. I would prefer a bit younger man. End of term report. Okay, city grows Carthage. The population in this large city has now reached a point where you can consider upgrading it. To a huge city. This will make new buildings available for you to build. To do this, you need to upgrade your proconsul's palace to a imperial palace. You can leave this until later, but as the population increases further, overcrowding will eventually start to increase squalor levels and slow down growth. So it costs a lot of money to do that. New family member. Tiberius Julius. Construction complete. Public baths are often amongst the most magnificent of public buildings and include cunning heating systems and many slaves to look after the needs of the citizens. They play an important role in public life, the Roman world. Baths are not only a place to get clean, but also a place where a man can socialize with his colleagues, argue about politics and catch up on the local gossip. Recruitment report. September was retrained a Roman general. So here we see that the city name and the unit name. He's far enough. These two factions have decided, for the moment at least, that they should stop killing each other. Peace may follow this truce, or it may not. Agent found Lepsis Magna, Numidia. An enemy agent has been found, but he escaped. He should be hunted down and his corpse displayed as an awful warning of the fate that awaits all who plot against good and honest Romans. Okay, here we see our Numidian navy.
Ready to sail! Prepare for battle!
In our waters, held by Remy. Remy is a small galley with a ram at the prow. It is powered by sail and two banks of oars. The ship has a good turn of speed and is fairly handy with a good crew. The ram makes the Bairimi a weapon rather than just transport for fighting men. A Bairimi is outclassed in combat by a Trireme speed and weight, but its combat power should not be underestimated. Okay. So, let's sink them. Done.
Victory! Ready to sail!
Here I'm
Ready
sending
to sail! Set sail!
part of my navy to Karalis, where I'm going to
March!
send my general into the ships and sail him to
Sail!
Thapsus.
Depleted, sir! Aye, Captain!
This fleet needs to
Set sail!
sail to Lilybaeum, where it's going to recover, and later we'll get the general into Carthage. We'll sail him there. Furthermore, more settlers will move to Lepsis Magna here. They're going to disband and soak up some population that would be taken away with the new Town Watch brigade added. In any case, here this force needs to move towards our southern positions.
Sir! Attack!
And the town watch will have to kind of hunt down these
No more moves, sir!
Numidian
Orders.
skirmishers here.
Sir!
Okay.
Imperator!
I'm gonna hire
General!
these mercenaries. Maybe I'm going to add them to the town watch. In any
Aye,
case,
Captain!
so far so good. Here I would need one more of these. And that's that. Let's attack Cirta.
Sir! Prepare for battle!
And we'll have to siege it.
Besieging settlement, sir!
Okay.
Settlement under siege, sir!
They have a fort here, that's fine. And that's that. What can I build here? I would prefer to increase the public order, so I'm going to build large temple of Jupiter. Or maybe I'm going to wait for additional cash so that I could expand into Imperial Palace. Unless I can build something very cheap here and there, I'm going to focus on financial matters. In any case, here we need to build settlers, and I'm going to send these to Segesta because this town needs to kind of increase in size. Here I need to build the Governor's Palace. Governor's Palace is a deliberately impressive symbol of Roman political might and authority. Its grandeur shows the locals the benefits of Roman rule and the futility of rebellion. Because it's major center of government, diplomats receive training here too. The palace allows further development to continue in the settlement around it. As the town becomes a place that attracts wealth and influence, the finer things in life such as entertainment and education become available. As a result, improvements to existing structures and new advanced building projects can now be carried out. Okay, so that's the Governor's Palace. A necessary building without a doubt. Here we are holding their own culture temple, which will have to be brought down, without a doubt. In any case,
Ready to sail!
barbarians are at our gates.
Orders! March!
My troops need to kind of get together. My spies need to go back and spy on Patavium. It looks like here we are just slightly overextended,
Imperator!
and we'll have to fight
Your Honor, secrecy is assured.
to regain control of this area. Alright. In any case, I won't have enough money left for Imperial Palace just yet. So I'm gonna build another town watch unit there and walls on Thapsus. Okay, it looks like that's all for now. Carthage would like to speak to me. Okay, let's take a look if they would agree
Awaiting your command. I shall speak with them at once.
to make a deal right now. We cannot meet this offer and therefore must refuse it. Fine, I'm not going to offer the money. Earthquake in Liguria. Citizens killed 617, soldiers killed 9. That's a guess. An earthquake has struck with dreadful effects. What can have angered the gods that they would make the earth groan and heave in such a way? Let's take a look. Did that affect the buildings? It looks like no, the buildings are just fine. Diplomatic information. The following factions are now at war. Pontus, the Greek cities. The following factions have declared the ceasefire call and the House of Scipio. The Greek cities are actually the confederation of cities, which means they're all over the place. It looks like the Pontus over here has been attacking the Greeks. So the Greeks, if they are not holding a powerful position, they will fall. Let's go to Dacia.
Sir, I shall speak with them
And
at once.
speak with them. Good. We've got some info. Let's exchange map information with them as well. They have agreed. So now we have a very kind of clear understanding of what's going on here.
Without delay.
Also, I would like to march
Delay, Your Honor.
with my diplomat further east and encounter
Out of moves.
other tribes that could potentially trade with us.
Imperator!
Okay, this army needs to head south and towards the settlement.
Orders? We can't do that, sir! Attack! Sir! Attack!
Okay,
Prepare
these
for
guys
battle. Moves depleted, sir!
moving forward as well. The city can be attacked.
Fleet ready! Set sail!
The fleet with the general needs to reach the port.
Moves depleted, sir!
And here,
Imperator! March!
gladly,
To the ships!
the man can
Set sail!
successfully leave Lillebam without it
General!
being in a position where it would rebel. Let's take a look if he is going to significantly increase the income
March!
of the settlement from minus 1,900 went to minus 1,612, which is fine.
Fleet ready!
Okay,
Aye, Captain!
now here a dangerous situation with that many barbarians as well as rebels kind of being there.
Sir!
I'm
Onward!
going to move the settlers to Segesta, where they're going to increase the population here, a population that suffered greatly from an earthquake. Also, this army needs to act, so we need to act now and attack.
Engage the enemy!
Ooh. Oh no, that was a mistake. I wasn't expecting them to kind of travel around. In any case, I have not left the town watch inside of the settlement. It is without a doubt a mistake. I'm going to hire barbarian cavalry because I'll need them to chase down routing enemies. These ones have good silver kind of level weapons, so it looks like the golds have reached a really good level
Moving.
of weaponsmith in some of its settlements. This town, the town of Mediolanum, won't hold well without military presence, because the population there will simply rebel. Rioting in Mediolanum, people will die, citizens killed 1,000, that's just a complete disaster, we massacred them. Senate officers assigned. It looks like Lucius Julius has reached a higher office, the supreme position of power, consul. An honor in the Republic, a consul has authority over magistrates, the army and lawmaking. He is in many ways a king in all but name during his time in office. He's ex-questor, he's fertile, he's ex-iadile, because now he's consul, he's social drinker, ex-praetor. This man used to hold the office of praetor, +1 to law. Office of consul. This man holds the senatorial office of consul, the chief officer of the state. The two consuls lead the armies in defense of Rome and propose new legislation in the Senate. So let's take a look at the Senate floor office list. So we're consul, which is very powerful position, without a doubt. End of term report. 6,200 now. New family member, Paulina. I like to see that few cities have expanded in size. And diplomatic information. The following factions are now at war: Spain, Carthage, the House of Scipii, and the Gauls. The following factions have declared that they are allies: Numidia and Seleucid Empire. Okay. Now, first of all, I want to move on here and build myself Imperial Palace. So, Imperial Palace, as you can see, it looks great. An Imperial Palace is the ultimate expression in marble and stone of Roman authority. The building's imposing size and ultimate luxury are intended to impress everyone in a city. Those who live beneath its walls can have no doubt as to where power lies, while those inside control every aspect of the city. This palace even has its own military elite, quite separate from the army. An imperial palace allows the most advanced construction in a city, allowing magnificent buildings to be built. So it looks like that's the last tire.
Aye, Captain. Yes, Captain.
And
Ready to sail.
in turn this means that
Sir, march.
as good as it gets, as large as the settlement can get. So we have him in here. Fine, don't have much money left at all, but here we have to start
Orders.
fighting,
Engage the enemy.
and we'll be facing the faction heir. He's 30 years old. He's very kind of bad commander, because he simply has no command skills at all. In his court he has wise man. Wisdom is knowing when to shut up and listen carefully. Young man, +1 management. He's devout. This man has sincere religious beliefs and respects those of others. +1 influence. Faction heir. Being the faction heir gives this man a certain amount of power and influence regardless of his ability. So +1 influence, +2 to personal security, improves the chances of detecting and foiling assassination attempts. Let's take a look what kind of soldiers he holds here in his city. Desert infantry, quite expensive, I have to say. Bonus fighting cavalry, combat bonus in deserts, good morale, good stamina, kinsap. These are hardy folk from the fringes of the Sahara, make excellent spearmen, well suited to defending against cavalry. They are tough troops used to eking out an existence in the unforgiving desert periphery. The prospect of a punishing march across great distances to these robust people is almost as familiar to them as the passing of each HD. Equipped with spears and large shields of wooden animal hide, battle holds few fears for these people. Life in a desert gives people a certain fatalism. They are some of the best fighters available to Numidian commanders, but they lack of formal training as a slight weakness. Okay, so that's 8 attack, 3 charge, total defense 13th. They'll be having slingers, a few of them though. Slingers are highly skilled missile troops, but are at a huge disadvantage in hand-to-hand combat, especially against cavalry. They can maintain a sustained and concentrated barrage on enemies and then fall back rapidly to avoid hand-to-hand combat. Slingers carry a shoulder bag with many pieces of lead shot. They can also use stones picked up on the battlefield and several spare slings, including slings of different length for greater or lesser range. Other than a knife and a small shield, they carry no other equipment. Numidian javelin men. Numidian javelin men are fast-moving skirmishers trained from infancy in the use of the javelin for hunting. They are recruited from amongst nomadic peoples who need their weapon skills to survive in harsh conditions. They are best employed to harry enemies and thin their ranks with volleys of missiles. They should avoid being sucked into hand-to-hand combat, as their knives are more useful in skinning animals than killing men. Also, other than a small shield, they have no armor. Historically, Numidian justice was extremely harsh on deserters and cowards. Crucifixion was a common punishment. Numidian cavalry. Numidia produces some of the finest cavalry in all Africa, if not the best in the Mediterranean world. Armed with javelins, these mounted skirmishers can be a nightmare for an opponent, as it can prove practically impossible to pin them down in combat. Their tactics are to pelt the enemy with deadly volleys of javelins and then swiftly retreat when charged. If the enemy stand, they are slaughtered with volleys of javelins, and if they run, the Numidian cavalry can ride them down. Instinctive riders, the Numidians are famed for not using a saddle or reins, using only a stick to direct their horses. Nevertheless, they maneuver with the grace of a flock of birds. Having adapted to the broken expanses of their homelands, Numidian cavalry have great stamina, and they are also experts in the form of their Cantabrian circle attack. Okay, so let's move into the battlefield and face these Numidians. It's an important settlement to hold, nevertheless. North Africa, close to the sea. There's a few rebel brigades out there as well that we will have to deal with without a doubt. Okay, here these soldiers of ours, we start taking up a position. Also here I'm going to move my hastati forward, and they should be able to shoot at the enemy. The enemy will be shooting at us. We have quite a few javelins there, and I think that we do hold advantage due to our numbers. And if they end up just kind of blasting us, we'll just retreat, and I have no doubts it's going to be fine. They do not have nearly as many troops. The settlement is reasonably large here, so things shouldn't be too bad at all. So the soldiers are here. They are approaching. These positions. I'm going to move the rams a bit further. So far my hastati are not shooting anything. Are not shooting their javelins, so I'll kind of make them move a little bit closer. the enemy. Hopefully that
soldiers are at the
will change
gates.
things, and it
Now
looks
they
like
must-
it is changing things.
Our soldiers are at the walls!
As you can
Now
see,
they must batter a way through!
we're shooting at them, they're shooting at us. Here we can take a look at one of these. So here it is. Doesn't look so bad at all. These were not as precise. Okay, so some of the shots are good, some of them are not nearly as good. But we are driving them away, they are shooting at us as well. Some of my brigades have already used everything. These need to change positions. Okay, when the gate's down, we're all going to pour in. And soon all gates will be down. The tower isn't shooting at us. These are one of the most dangerous towers.
Our soldiers have done their work well! The battering ram has broken through the gate!
Now we can enter.
Our soldiers have captured the walls! Now is the time to press on and capture this place!
Okay. Here we're going to first of all move in a position. Okay, these need to move up. I kind of suspect that we
Roman military engineering triumphs once more! The walls are down! Order your men on to victory!
even need more wall openings. In any case, here we have the first engagement though, and they're not staying in this fight for long, as you can see. Let's just move on them further. As you can see, they will be running. These guys have left the ramp, that's fine. Okay. Let's just try and run through them. So, what can I say? Obviously, there's a couple of entries in here, so some of my troops will just have to run all the way around, because they all won't fit through. Okay, these remaining ones will just have to fight on the streets. There's not that many enemies here anyway. And it should not be that big of a deal. He would prefer to go there on that side. So I'm going to shift Q commands. Let's just attack them there. All of these Romans will be moving on the Numidians in this position, and here we're going to face their heavy cavalry. Also, we're being shot by quite a few of So now important here, let's just try to kind of hold this position. These guys need to try and surround, these need to attack, and it could be that we'll just kind of corner them here, because otherwise they're pushing us back with all that weight that they possess here. It's not an easy task. Okay, the general can attack. So our front line here is breaking. It's not good, and it could be a chain rout. These guys turned around, and these ones never really ran into the battle. The sound is gone. I'm not sure why the sound is gone, but all in all, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good at all. We are not winning this fight. It looks like separating the forces was not a good idea at all. Against that heavy cavalry, they were unable to do much. I'm gonna check the audio here, and it should be fine, but it isn't. In any case, let's approach them there and just try to do as much damage as possible. Not all the units are fighting, so some of these guys were not nearly as easy to kind of control. In any case, the most important thing here is not to lose the general, and now that we are fighting them on multiple locations, it's not nearly as bad. It's just that their general's unit is so strong. It's so capable at fighting the Hastati that it's just a little bit too much for us to kind of handle there, and we were pushed back in this street fighting. Okay, that's it. We have prevailed. The victory is ours. Done. Let's take the settlement. I'm going to occupy the settlement and retrain part of the Legion. Retrain expands, decorated hero, good.